So sometimes you sit down and you feel like you are not yourself. And you feel like there's something behind you when you're walking. You feel like somebody's following you from behind. And when you look behind, you find nobody's following you. Also, you can see men when they are selling their cars and they have a separation anxiety where maybe they loved this car Auris so much and now they have to part with it and buy a Lexus. Yes, a Lexus is a better car than Auris, but they had an attachment with that Auris. Do you experience fear? Do you sometimes sleep and you don't have a very nice sleep? You keep waking up in intervals? Do you sometimes feel your heart is pounding too much when you experience an experience? Then we might say that you experience anxiety disorder in one way or the other. As we look at mental health this week, then anxiety disorder cannot be too far from us. Join our YouTube channel at Phyllis Shiko so that you can be able to understand more about the anxiety disorder when we are talking about mental health. So sometimes you sit down and you feel like you are not yourself. And you feel like there's something behind you when you're walking. You feel like somebody's following you from behind. And when you look behind, you find nobody's following you. Sometimes you are in the house and you just feel a creepy kind of feeling, because anxiety is just a feeling. It's a rush of your blood and veins, in the veins, just trying to tell you something is not right. So this fear might come from the environment, the people, you yourself, everything that you have, or wherever you are, you find that you do not have that peace or that point of where you're saying that I am feeling this. Fear is not something you can see. It's not something you can touch. It is only something that you can feel. So today we are going to look at the types of anxiety that you might be experiencing and you don't know that you're experiencing it. So number one is generalized anxiety disorder. So generalized anxiety disorder is where you feel it's just a fear where it's just, we can say it's something common. It's something that maybe most people say, oh, I fear spider, I fear reptiles, I fear frogs, when I see omena, I want to run away, I don't like the eyes of omena, they look at me, that kind of fear. Or maybe, okay, when somebody is passing by and they say, hey, I fear that person, okay, because of 1, 2, or 3 reasons that you might not tell us, but we are seeing it from there. So what we are talking about is just a general types of anxiety disorder. So that is what you're experiencing, which is just common, like, okay, I don't like cats. There are people who don't like cats. There are people who don't like dogs and they fear dogs for no good reason. And it's not that the dog has ever bitten them or something, but they just fear dogs in general from the sight of it. So even the environment that you're living in, you might just feel some certain kind of fear when you're looking at other people who are around you. So it's just a kind of general fear that you feel that you're not comfortable in that moment. So we are going to look also at selective mutism. What do I mean? This is a type of anxiety disorder that you also experience without knowing that you experience it. What do I mean? You select where to speak, for example, and where not to speak. And that's why I was saying that you can have, you might be in a setting where you are employed, and maybe there's a presentation that needs to be presented. And then you hear that it is you who is going to present that presentation. Then you feel like, no, this is not my thing at this time because of the people who are sitting around you. So you're not comfortable with the people who are surrounding. Maybe it is your CEO walking in and you want to do this presentation. Then you just choose, no, I will not do this presentation because I don't feel comfortable. That is a certain of fear where we call it's a selective mutism, all right? So you select, maybe you're going to a football playing somewhere, then you feel like, okay, in front of these coaches, I can't talk right now, or I can't express myself because of that fear, because you're selecting what, where to speak, where to do what, where to feel what. So that is selective mutism. Then we come to another type of anxiety disorder where we say social anxiety disorder. This is where you don't want to go to any groups, any gathering, any crowd. You don't feel like going to your chama. If you're a lady, you don't want to mingle with those women for 2 to 3 hours, or ladies, or whatsoever it is in the chama. You just want to be alone. Maybe you say, I don't like crowds if you're going to football or basketball or table tennis, and you feel like, okay, I don't feel like I don't want to be around people. So you have that social anxiety where when you meet a crowd of people or many people, you are more comfortable where you have only maybe one or two people. But when there's a crowd, you start feeling that the social anxiety, people, how will people see me? What are the expectations of the people? What will I say before these people? Those are now what we call social anxiety. Then we have the last one where we are looking at separation anxiety. What do I mean? This happens mostly with the young children when they are 3, 4, and you have to leave them behind, or then you go to work, especially among mothers, then you feel like, oh my God, I'm leaving my baby, Even when you're finished breastfeeding in 6 months, then you feel, oh my God, I'm going to leave my baby. With who? Oh, with the house help, yeah. The baby is still small. I don't want to go. So that is separation anxiety after maternity leave. And also when they start now, they start walking maybe 3 years, 2 years there, and then you have to go to leave them and go to work, and you leave them with the house manager. Then you start feeling the fear of separation. And also the child also might experience the separation anxiety, because when you're telling them goodbye, they start crying. Mommy, I want to go with you. Mommy, you can't leave me in the house, blah, 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 and all that. So they are experiencing the anxiety, the separation anxiety, the same with you, and you cry together. Then you are going goodbye. You are very moody to the bus station, or if you have your car, you are leaving. The baby now has that separation anxiety. You too, as a mother. Also, you can see men when they are selling their cars and they have a separation anxiety where maybe they loved this car, Auris, so much, and now they have to part with it and buy a Lexus. Yes, a Lexus is a better car than Auris, but they had an attachment with that Auris, so they start feeling like, oh my God, this can't be happening. So this, what we are talking about, is the types of anxieties that you may be experiencing when you think you know, but you don't know. So it's just something, a rush. In the beginning, I said it's a rush that comes. Your heart pounds. Some people may experience sweating. Some people might experience a darkening of the nails. Some people might feel like, okay, they are they just want to sleep. They are lazy. No, not lazy, they're restless, You're just all over, and you feel like, oh, your hands are shaking like this when you see your CEO, your boss, or your pastor, or your bishop, and any other person who is around you, and you associate them with power, and you're like shaking. So all these things make you look like you have the anxiety. So you have that fear of unknown. You don't know what you're fearing, but it is with you. And that's why I said when it comes now to selective mutism is where now you realize, okay, this is my fear. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I can't talk before these people. Oh, I can't do this before these people. Oh, social anxiety. Oh, I don't want a crowd. Oh, separation anxiety. I don't want to leave my baby at home. Oh, I want to carry my baby to. And generalized, those people who fear animals and snakes and rats and cats and dogs, that is just a general anxiety disorder. So stay with us in this YouTube channel so that you can be able to move with us as we discuss issues of mental health. That's why I keep telling you it's important for you to have an assessment so that you can be able to know yourself. You don't just stay with that fear and then you assume that you are okay. You are not okay. So you have to also push yourself so that you can be able to be helped if your mental health is not okay. We are talking about your well-being of the mental mind, where you can function. You remember, if you don't have the right mental health, you are not sober in the mind, then your functionality, your happiness, your joy, the way you operate will be affected because of all these anxiety disorders that are there. See you next time in our YouTube channel at Felishiko. Subscribe. If you have not subscribed, make sure you are our subscriber. If you have subscribed, thank you so much, and we continue being a community. We love you all. See you next time as we discuss more on mental health.